Hi, I'm Stephen M. Miller. I write books about the Bible and Christianity. One of my readers asked me if King David was gay. The reader based his question on a few lines in a funeral song David wrote about his best friend Jonathan. Jonathan had just died in a battle fighting the Philistines. Here's the poem that some say hints David and Jonathan were lovers. I grieve for you, my brother Jonathan. You were so dear to me. Your love was more amazing to me than the love of women. Okay, there are different ways to take that poem. We don't have to take it straight into the bedroom. But we could. I can see how it might lead some to say David was gay. So I started a quick list of reasons some might conclude David was gay. And some of the reasons are a stretch, but some people stretch things. Here's the list. These are reasons some might say David was gay. He played a harp. Not just any harp. He played a tiny harp. It was called a lyre. There are lots of ancient pictures of those harps being played by ladies. Samson, at the other extreme, had sex with a prostitute at midnight and then ripped off the city gate at Gaza and carried it 40 miles up into the hills near the city of Hebron. That's about 65 kilometers. David wrote poetry. One of the 2,000-year-old Dead Sea Scrolls said David wrote 3,600 poems. Samson was creative, but in a more macho way. When he wanted to get even with the Philistine people for burning his wife to death, he caught 300 foxes, tied torches to their tails, and set the torches on fire. Then he turned the foxes loose into the Philistine grain fields and orchards. David probably wrote a poem about it, put it to music, played it on a harp. Another reason some think David was gay. Artists portray him looking like this, and this, and this. One last reason. The Bible says David and Jonathan had a contract, a covenant, which some say sounds like a marriage contract. Couples used those in Bible times. Copies have survived. Jonathan and David made a covenant together because Jonathan loved David as much as himself. As if that's not incriminating enough, Jonathan had what seems an odd way of signing the agreement. An agreement many scholars say was just a promise of loyalty to one another. Jonathan took off the robe he was wearing and gave it to David, along with his armor, as well as his sword, his bow, and his belt. Some observe it sounds as though that left him naked, standing there in front of David. But try looking at it from the angle of war buddies vowing to be there for each other. Men from Easy Company in World War II said they found in combat the closest brotherhood they ever knew. They found selflessness. They found they could love the other guy in their foxhole more than themselves. When someone provides cover fire for you in a firefight, or carries you on a shoulder out of harm's way when you're wounded and the shells are still flying, bonds develop that can be stronger than the bonds of marriage. Perhaps that's the love David wrote about after years together with Jonathan fighting the Philistines. Quickly, 2 reasons to think David was heterosexual. Jonathan and David were married to women and had kids. I know gay men can do that too, been done. But David wasn't just married. He had a harem of at least 7 wives. For a gay guy, what's the point? Also, his harem wasn't enough. When he found himself standing on a hot clay roof and he caught sight of another man's beautifully naked wife, he invited her to his palace and they made a baby. David seemed to have the heterosexual sex drive of a pit bull on a blind date. David was a guy, and it sure seems he liked girls. David spent quality time with them when he didn't have to. He had 20 kids. Anyone who would call himself a gay man with 20 kids from a harem of at least 7 wives and at least 1 woman on the side, that's a man with a huge imagination. When David was old and needed help warming his bed at night, he allowed his advisors to find for him, as they put it, a young virgin to wait on you and look after you. She will lie in your arms and keep you warm. He did not agree to a male bed warmer. Here's my take. If David had been gay, it didn't rain in Constantinople in the summertime. If you like Bible stuff, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. My mother counts those. 9 out of 10 people skip the thumbs.